Before you blame your genetics for your facial asymmetry, answer this. Why do you have a good side? Why does one cheek sit higher or one eye look more lifted? Most people say it's just genetics. If it were truly just DNA, both sides would be identical. The truth is, your face isn't a fixed mask, it's a reflection of your habits. Everyone has some level of anatomy imbalance, and that's completely normal. But over time, daily habits influence how muscles work, how posture is held, and how pressure is distributed across the face. This doesn't just affect how you look, it subtly affects how you feel. You avoid certain angles, you favor one side in photos, your confidence quietly shifts. Here's what most women are never told. Your facial structure isn't just DNA, it's feedback. In the late 19th century, a German anatomist named Julius Wolff described what we now call Wolff's law, the idea that bone adapts to the forces placed upon it over time. Bone is living tissue. It responds to muscle tension, posture, and repeated pressure. That doesn't mean bones dramatically change shape after puberty, but it does mean they continue to adapt subtly. So your face isn't broken. And it isn't unlucky. It's adaptive, muscle tension, and positioning over time. This isn't just theory. In the 1930s, dentist and researcher Weston A traveled to isolated traditional communities around the world. He documented wide dental arches, strong forward facial growth, straight teeth, and remarkable symmetry. When later generations from the same gene pools adopted modern, soft, processed diets, their facial structure changed within a single generation. Narrower arches, crowded teeth, more recession. The genes did not change, the environment did. That alone should shift how you see your face. This is where orthotropic enter the conversation. British orthodontist John Mewing proposed that jaw growth could be guided through posture rather than just corrected with braces. His son, Mike Mewing, later expanded on these ideas and brought attention to proper tongue posture, what the internet now casually calls mewing. But remove the trend, remove the hype, and what remains is simple. The tongue is a structural support muscle. Where it rests matters. Pause for a second. Where is your tongue resting right now? If it's sitting low in your mouth, that is not neutral. The ideal resting posture is gently sealed against the roof of the mouth, not aggressively pressing, just resting upward. The roof of your mouth is the floor of your nasal cavity. When the tongue rests up, it provides subtle upward and outward support to the midface over time. When it rests down, that support disappears. This is not about forcing your face into something unnatural. It's about restoring the posture your body was designed for. Now let's talk about something even more common. Chewing bias. Almost everyone chews more on one side. You likely do too. The masseter muscle. The muscle that creates jaw width and sharpness grows with use. If you chew primarily on your right side, your right masseter becomes thicker. That side of your jaw looks stronger. The other side stays softer. Over years, this creates visible asymmetry. Add modern diet, soft rice, pasta, protein shakes, overcooked food, and your jaw simply isn't being challenged enough. Muscles that are not loaded do not grow. Structures that are not stimulated do not optimize. Consciously chewing on both sides and incorporating more fibrous, resistant foods begins rebalancing that muscular support. Many YouTubers casually say, just chew from both sides to fix facial asymmetry. But in reality, if you've been chewing mostly on one dominant side for many years, forcing a complete switch overnight isn't practical, and it's not how muscles adapt. Facial and jaw muscles respond to gradual, consistent loading, not sudden changes. That's why the goal isn't to abandon your dominant side, but to slowly involve the weaker side, roughly 30 to 40% of your chewing. Over time, this can help create more balanced muscle engagement, which may lead to very mild improvements in functional asymmetry, not dramatic structural changes. However, this approach is not universal. If you have dental cavities, malocclusion, jaw pain, or TMJ disorders, chewing adjustments can worsen symptoms. In those cases, any change should only be done under the guidance of a dentist or maxillofacial professional. Now let's address mouth breathing, one of the most underestimated beauty disruptors. When you breathe through your mouth, your tongue drops to the bottom of your mouth. When the tongue drops, the midface loses support. Over time, chronic mouth breathing is associated with longer facial patterns and weaker chin projection. And think about this, if you sleep 8 hours every night breathing through your mouth, that's 1/3 of your life, reinforcing that pattern. Nasal breathing supports proper tongue posture, better oxygen exchange, deeper sleep, and lower inflammation. It's not just about health, it's about structure. Sleep position matters too. If you sleep on the same side every single night, you are gently compressing one cheekbone, one jawline, and one orbital area for 6 to 8 hours every night. For years, soft tissue adapts, fluid distribution adapts. Subtle asymmetry can develop simply from consistent compression. Alternating sides or gradually training yourself to sleep on your back with proper neck support reduces that long-term influence. 8 hours is not a neutral time, it's shaping time. Then there's posture. Forward head posture, in the way most of us scroll, shifts the head in front of the shoulders. That compresses the neck and redistributes tension into the jaw joint. It can also impair lymphatic drainage, leading to facial puffiness and reduced definition. Many women believe they lack bone structure when in reality their posture is hiding it. When the spine stacks properly and the chin aligns over the collarbones, the lower face often appears tighter almost immediately. Alignment reveals structure. And we cannot ignore stress. Elevated cortisol from chronic stress increases water retention, accelerates collagen breakdown, and drives jaw clenching, often asymmetrically. That tension subtly reshapes how the lower face sits at rest. A constantly stressed nervous system shows up in the jaw, in under-eye hollowness, in facial heaviness. Deep sleep and nervous system regulation are not luxuries. They are aesthetic strategies. Calm women truly present differently because their physiology is not constantly inflamed. Now here's the empowering part. Is adulthood too late? The most dramatic skeletal changes occur during childhood and puberty, yes, but adulthood is not a closed door. Muscle tone can change, posture can change, fluid retention can change, inflammation can change, tension patterns can change, and those factors dramatically influence how your face presents. A woman who improves breathing, balances chewing, corrects posture, and reduces stress can look noticeably more lifted and structured within months. Not because her DNA transformed, but because her habits stopped working against her. So here is the reframe I want you to carry with you. Facial asymmetry is often a record of unconscious patterns. The side you always chewed on, the way you always slept, the breath nobody taught you to optimize, the posture shaped by years of screens. None of that is your fault. But now it becomes your awareness. And awareness is power. The women whose faces feel magnetic, structured, and effortlessly elevated are not always genetic lottery winners. Many of them are simply living closer to biological alignment. They breathe through their nose, their tongue rests where it belongs, their posture is stacked, their stress is managed, their habits support their structure instead of slowly collapsing it. It's about supporting the one you were genetically capable of having. Built slowly, built intelligently, built through alignment. And once you understand that your face is adaptive, you stop feeling powerless in the mirror, and you start sculpting with intention. Glow-ups don't happen randomly. They happen when you decide. If you're ready to maximize your beauty potential the smart way, watch the next video, subscribe, and join the Sculpted Society. Because here we don't chase perfection, we build presence.